Welcome, everyone, to today's Explainer. We're jumping right into something truly fascinating today. We're going to take an impartial, analytical look at a highly popular morning devotion from the Holy Rhythm Prayers YouTube channel. Basically, we are deconstructing this source text to see exactly how it ticks. Because, it's not just a nice collection of words to start the day. It's actually a meticulously structured psychological and spiritual architecture. It's designed to intentionally shape and build a believer's entire day before it even begins. It's like a blueprint for your mindset. And since it functions as such a highly structured blueprint, we're going to break down its anatomy into 5 core thematic pillars: gratitude as a discipline, redefining daily bread, receiving complete forgiveness, trading anxiety for peace, and finally, a shield of protection. These systematically shift the speaker's mindset, step by step. Okay, let's dive into this first foundational pillar: gratitude as a discipline. This is all about establishing a strict baseline right out of the gate. So this sets an unyielding baseline of thankfulness before the day is even allowed to start making demands of you. The text anchors itself right away in a specific scriptural quote, Psalm 103:2. By literally demanding that the soul forget not all his benefits, the prayer makes sure that gratitude isn't just an afterthought, right? It's not just a nice bonus if your day happens to go well. Instead, it's framed as a proactive requirement. It's a lens you have to put on the second you wake up. From there, the prayer moves into taking a very explicit inventory of gratitude. It specifically calls out things we so often just take for granted, things like breath, explicitly noting that taking a breath is not automatic, sight, movement, loving relationships, a reasoning mind, and shelter. The source material makes a really striking point here. Simply surviving the night, that isn't framed as luck, it's framed as a purposeful act of preservation. It's a declaration that your life's purpose isn't finished yet. Now, what's really interesting about this is the profound psychological shift it orchestrates. It deliberately contrasts gratitude as a mere feeling, where you're just passively waiting around for good circumstances to give you a reason to be thankful, with gratitude as a strict discipline. It's a decision you make before asking for a single thing. The text relies on Hebrews 13:8, emphasizing a consistent God who is the same yesterday, today, and forever. And that allows the speaker to completely transition from being a reactive participant in their day to someone exercising proactive, grounded discipline. Moving along to pillar number 2, redefining daily bread. This is where we transition from acknowledging past benefits to actively requesting future needs. The devotion gracefully pivots here. It uses one of the most universally recognized phrases in all of biblical literature, straight from Matthew 6:11, "Give us this day our daily bread." But what the source text does next is super fascinating. It significantly expands the definition of bread way beyond just physical food on a dinner table. It radically redefines the concept into a comprehensive, moment-by-moment toolkit. So daily bread becomes the wisdom you need for decisions you haven't even made yet. It's peace for situations you haven't walked into, grace for difficult conversations that require patience, and strength for highly demanding moments. It perfectly tailors the concept of provision to the specific psychological and spiritual demands of a modern day. To really reinforce this, the text points to specific historical, biblical metaphors: feeding 5,000 people with just 5 loaves and 2 fish, Elijah being fed by ravens, and a widow's oil multiplying until every vessel was full. The prayer uses these examples to encourage looking for creative provision. It trains the mind to not just limit expectations to the obvious solutions, but to remain completely open to unexpected avenues of support. That brings us to our third pillar: receiving complete forgiveness. Time for a clean slate. Having established gratitude and asked for provision, the prayer tackles something we all deal with: the inevitable feelings of human inadequacy. The speaker openly acknowledges their past failures, times when their gratitude was shallow, or they were just totally dull to the provision around them. Using Psalm 134, the text seeks a completely clean slate. It emphasizes receiving forgiveness without any lingering guilt or self-condemnation. It just washes the slate entirely clean for the new day. And this brilliantly illustrates the emotional transaction happening here. On one side, you've got the exhausting effort of trying to earn favor, where you feel held up only by the fragile strength of your own grip. The text actively rejects that. Instead, it guides the speaker to receive endless mercy, being held by a covenant. Relying on Ephesians 2:4-5, the speaker embraces a new identity of being quickened or made alive. They're shifting completely away from striving and stepping fully into resting. Let's step into the fourth pillar, trading anxiety for peace. This is where the text directly addresses the stress and the intense pressures of the upcoming day. It uses Philippians 4:6-7 to structure this. So the crucial point is that this isn't just about ignoring your problems. It's an active trade. The text prescribes trading the immense pressure of having to figure everything out yourself for a profound peace, a peace that the text explicitly states defies logical sense and stands guard over your heart and mind. It specifically categorizes the release of these weights. The speaker lists out financial needs, physical needs, relational concerns, and emotional burdens. Notice how the prayer acknowledges just how serious and heavy these deficits are. It doesn't minimize them at all. But the deliberate move here is taking these massive uncertainties and consciously handing them over into larger, far more capable hands. This release is profoundly justified by comparing present deficits and deep uncertainty directly against Romans 8:28, which claims that all things work together for good. This completely anchors the speaker's confidence. It boldly asserts that absolutely nothing happening right now, no matter how chaotic it seems, is outside the ability to ultimately be worked for good. And we've reached the fifth and final pillar, a shield of protection. Notice the structural shift that happens right here. The prayer's focus moves outward. It transitions from personal, internal grounding to acting as an intercessory shield for others. Drawing on Psalm 91:1, the speaker explicitly claims a protective shadow over their entire household. And they anchor this outward-facing declaration in the resolute commitment found in Joshua 24:15. It's a definitive, hard boundary of protection drawn right around their family. And this protective covering is incredibly comprehensive. It shields loved ones out on the roads, in their workplaces, in classrooms, in complex relationships, and literally guards their innermost thoughts. Citing Isaiah 54:17, the text passionately declares that absolutely no weapon formed against their peace, health, or joy is going to prosper or find any foothold today. Let's move on and see how this builds into the complete picture with a very precise sequential architecture. First, acknowledge benefits. Second, ask for provision. Third, receive forgiveness. Fourth, release anxiety. And fifth, cover loved ones. This step-by-step progression is a literal masterclass in purposefully transforming a vulnerable morning mindset into one that is completely grounded, protected, and empowered. And brilliantly, the text circles right back around to where it all started. It concludes by using 1 Thessalonians to ensure that Thanksgiving isn't just a quick morning activity you check off a list. Instead, it becomes the permanent lens through which every single hour of the day is viewed. This culminating summary perfectly captures the ultimate goal of the devotion. The structured routine we just mapped out, it isn't designed to merely help someone survive the day. It is designed so they can actively, fiercely, and intentionally experience it. With eyes wide open to provision, a heart settled in peace, and a mouth ready to give praise. Which leaves us with this final, powerful question to reflect on. How does choosing gratitude as a discipline, before your circumstances even have a chance to change, fundamentally alter the way you experience the reality of your day? Think about the psychological armor that builds. It's a genuinely incredible framework for designing the day. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, keep analyzing, and I'll see you on the next one.